CO2 Australia. Sat through the CarbonExpo Australasia this morning. Combet, the Australian Climate Change Minister's interview. Then we've heard a session on the sort of international perspective and where Australia sits. What are your sort of key takeaways? I mean, particularly from what the Climate Change Minister said this morning.
There was clearly a call to advocate there. So he's saying to business, if you want a carbon price, if you want certainty, you're going to have to get out there and say so very clearly. I think he used the word advocate about 3 or 4 times, so that was clearly part of it. And he's trying to tread a line between starting again and being open to all possibilities. And I think that's the political line he was trying to tread. The other thing that he's clear on is the government does want to try and resolve this in the current term of Parliament if they possibly can, which is good news.
Do you think there's a political commitment there now to really do something, that there's a realisation that they have to act?
Well, I think they know they have to act, and to be fair to them, they tried last time. The Australian Senate was a very difficult Senate to work with.
Yeah.
So I think they have a very tough lower house, but with a change in the Senate coming up in July next year, there's a change there. And I think they'll look at that window.
And he was very clear that there needs to be a price on carbon, but he hedged his bets to some degree in terms of whether that's a tax or a market-based approach, emissions trading-based approach. Did you get a feel that his mind is open on that, or he's made up his mind?
No, I think it was open. The other thing is he did mention a kind of a hybrid scheme, and to some extent you can see an emissions trading scheme perhaps with a carbon price floor. And remember, we had a price cap when they were thinking about the last scheme. So there are some hybrids that might turn up. Who knows?
That's quite similar. That's sort of proposal I think that's been floated in the UK by the Green Bank or the Climate Change Committee. I think this sort of floating carbon price but with a floor for investment certainty. So that's interesting. And in terms of time for this process, I mean, do you think do they want to move quickly in terms of the Climate Change Committee and the various business advisory round tables? And we heard about a climate change executive and all kinds of things.
I heard pragmatism. I heard absolutely no lock-in for any timetable. I just heard we've got to be pragmatic. We've got to move as quickly as we can, but there's no point moving and failing. So it's going to take as long as it takes. They've got to do the work. Keep on saying I've got to do the work.
So you think it's a call to arms for the sort of progressive business and those who want a price on carbon?
Yes, there was a call to arms there. I think he expects a very, very vigorous political debate, and I think last time round they were a little bit concerned that they didn't get much support for what they put through. They thought the CPRS was an orphan in the end. I think they would avoid that this time.
So kind of watch this space, but it's at least climate change is well and truly back on the political agenda here in Australia. Thank you.
That's right. You're welcome.